It's like a fun hypothetical. I threw out a trade earlier, and now that we're talking to Kemba's decline and the deterioration of his knee, they had a chance as a team, two big inflection points, to keep an extra Brooklyn pick, which I'm glad. I think we all agree it was a good thing they didn't do. Even the Kyrie thing, it didn't go the way it was supposed to. You probably still go back and do that deal given what they gave up there. Colin Sexton's been good, but I think the Kyrie experiment was worth it. Terry Rozier, that's a legit second guess given how
it's amazing how well he's shooting in the 2 years since he left here. You could not have had a worse
50% from the field this year is crazy.
50 from the field for a guard, 46 from three. It's unreal.
Did you guys see the highlights from last night's game? It wasn't just the game winner. He had 20 points in the fourth quarter, and with that being the capper. I mean, I watched every single shot he hit in that fourth quarter, and they were unbelievable. This Charlotte team, led by Rozier and your buddy Gordon, and hand up. Another apology that I won't make because I never said on the show, but I did not believe in LaMelo Ball. I did not believe that kid was anything not but like smoke and mirrors. But he is playing his freaking heart out, and he is he's going to be rookie of the year, I think, or right up there. Wiseman and him and whoever else. But that team's fun. And Rozier, all credit to him, man. He knew that he was going to have a better opportunity on another team, and he bettered himself too, much like a lot of these players do. And he is totally dominating right now. I mean, really. We're not even talking about him in the All-Star game, but I mean, he's just about as fun as they come to watch. I mean, he should probably get a little bit more discussion. I know he's not going to, but he's approaching that territory.
Yeah, it's so interesting to think about how it would have progressed if he stayed here, because wasn't the thinking of keeping him around as all the other guards were in the fold there that he's going to be the Kyrie insurance?
It was selling out on Kyrie. It was just that ridiculous pipe dream, this stupid Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving pair up pipe dream that paralyzed their thinking for those 2 years. It just paralyzed. It was all about that.
They didn't make a single move in 19 when they clearly needed to.
Was we got to hold on to everything because we're going to put it all into one big trade offer, and this is going to be the last thing we do. And it didn't friggin' happen, and you let all of it just go to crap there. That was the problem.
AD was like, "Yo, Kyrie, what do you think?" And Kyrie's like, "Yo, I'm out, man. Don't come here."
That killed them. Just paralysis over this pipe dream that Anthony Davis was going to be a Celtic.
We saw this Rozier too during that 18 run, and he still gets so much flack for the result in the end of falling short of the finals, but he did so much to get there, and his game 6 gets forgotten against Cleveland in the East Finals, where the offense was completely stagnant all game long, and he was just hitting pull-up after pull-up. I think he had 26 or 28 in that game, and they were pretty close to taking the series in Cleveland in that game 6. He had a bad game 7 that sticks in people's minds more. But I look back at his years here, they were consistently a 104 to 108 defensive rating with him on the floor. He was a sound defender at that point guard spot, a dribble facilitator. I think the issue with him here now, if he was instead of Kemba, is that he's limited as a playmaker too.
He's not a playmaker at all. He would drive us crazy. Right now, he's shooting better than Kemba, but you're asking for the same thing. You're right. He defends better, Bobby. This Terry Rozier is not the type of player you want on this offense either, because it's another guy who's just going to be taking shots away and doing his own thing. Too many individual players right now. That's the problem.
Taking shots away from guys who are shots.
Yeah. My final assessment on it, though, I think Kemba was worth it for that first year because I think they could have won a championship with that core.
Kyrie.
Rozier kind of in Kemba's place there year 1, but year 2 through 4.
Oh, you mean last year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So year 2 through 4, though, when we talk about Kemba's health, it's almost a no-brainer that you'd swap out Kemba now for Rozier.
No brainer now. At that point, here's the thing. The reason I don't like the revisionist history on the Celtics stuff is because not a single person that thought the Kyrie trade was a bad trade bringing him here. Jimmy, you were actually moderately skeptical, more so than most people, just because you knew what kind of a weirdo he was. And I do think that was underplayed in the early days of Kyrie. It's such common knowledge now. Everyone I talk to and people I know in Cleveland who cover,
I didn't like they never made the playoffs without LeBron.
No idea what this guy's like. He listens to everything. He gets really weird. He's got an entourage that tells him what everybody says. He freezes people out. He's got the thinnest skin. He's a total kook. Like he is not going to survive in Boston. That was the vibe, like coming in.
And think of it like
it was like, oh, he's a little quirky, but everyone was like, no, he's nuts. Like he's absolutely nuts, and he's going to lose his mind in Boston. And, you know, we heard that, but it wasn't talked about enough. But nobody wanted to not do that at the time. And nobody thought Rozier was a keeper after his last year here in Boston. It made sense that he was going to move on. The knock on it was that Ainge should have done something about it earlier and gotten something for him, and he never did. So
he was an underrated part of that 19 disaster, too, because he wasn't happy about being on the bench.
He wanted to shoot every time he got out there.
Yeah, whenever he came off the bench, he had a bad game.
It looked like him and it looked like Rozier and Kyrie were not really buddies either. I mean, even didn't Kyrie allude to the fact like there was like competition going on between the two, like in one of his weird press conferences he had. So it just felt like Rozier. Everyone kind of knew Rozier was gone, and maybe we were all too quick to just accept it because, you know, he's doing his thing and the Celtics are struggling to score at points now. And yeah, I know what you're saying, John, is if he was in the Celtics, he would drive everybody crazy because he would take shots away from Jalen and Jason. Well, it's like, all right, well, be ready to completely ride or die with those two guys. Because you're now like letting good players go because you're all in on these two guys. So they better be the two guys because a lot of players are coming and going and they're staying. A lot of really good players. So yeah, I guess we'll find out.
I say we tank for Trevor Lawrence. What do you say?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, Bill.